many ways, but in this one way in particular, I really believe it's important, and I'm trying now in my own family on birthdays to get the members of the family to tell us their life stories, because so many times you work with people and you operate with them and you don't know their life story. And Golden's was one of great achievement and great breakthroughs and really inspirational. And so it is with regret that it's the fact of her passing that's led me to know more about her life and her family and her achievements and the breakthroughs that she made in the community. But I'm honored to learn this now. I wanted to share just briefly with you how I knew Golden, which was on a much more limited basis than I would say probably everybody else here. I was in the office, the prosecutor's office, in the late 80s and early 90s, but I left in 1995, and that is when Golden came. And I was over at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and had the privilege of coming back in 2003 with Paula Dow, who is now the Attorney General. You know, Paula is now the Attorney General, but in 2003 she was an unconfirmed acting prosecutor, pretty much an unknown quantity to the prosecutor's office, a highly capable woman, but one who had not been in the state system and had not been in Essex County Prosecutor's Office. And shortly after she arrived in 2003, I became aware of the fact that Golden would call her. And on an occasion, I guess the next summer when the prosecutor, Paula Dow, was away, I was the acting prosecutor. And I got a call from Golden Johnson, I'd say 6 o'clock in the evening, and I can still remember, you know, her sweet voice. And I thought, you know, I don't think at that point I'd met her in person. And I thought, what a honeyed quality voice she has on the phone, and what a wonderful name for this woman whom I have not yet met. And she was calling, as she would do for Paula, to give Paula a heads up about what was going on in Juvenile. I think perhaps Andrea was also away, it was summertime. And in the conversations that we had in that week, in the next weeks, and in the ensuing years, it became very clear that Golden was calling Paula to make sure that not one single thing under her watch, under her responsibility, would go wrong for the prosecutor. And it was my impression, and it became my belief, that Golden had developed an allegiance to Paula, a loyalty to her that sprung from nothing other than her knowledge that this was another woman, this was another African American woman, this was another professional, this was another person interested in the furtherance of justice. And I was very touched by the fact, on Paula's behalf, that she had immediately taken it upon herself to protect Paula, because now we view her, you know, in a light that is different 7 years later. I'm talking about Paula here. She's now, you know, the Attorney General. She's got a great deal of authority. She's got a great deal of respect. But in 2003, she was beleaguered. She was unknown, and Golden was somebody who almost immediately aligned herself with her to help her, for no gain to herself, for no interest to herself, to achieve nothing worldly for herself, but simply to assist another person, another woman, another lawyer in trying to pursue justice. And in all the conversations I have with Golden from that time forward, it was always the reason she would call, never to ask for a thing for herself, only to help the office and to help my current boss and my friend, Paula Dow, achieve her goals and achieve the goals of the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. So I have to extend my thanks to her through her family here today for that allegiance that she paid, that professionalism that she showed, and express now my sorrow at her untimely passing, but our gratitude for the legacy that she leaves here in the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. So thank you. It's my honor to be here tonight, and it's my honor to perhaps learn some more things about Golden I didn't know. And with that, I would introduce Andrea McCoy-Johnson, a good friend of Golden's, who, when I heard of Golden's passing, the first thing actually I thought of was Andrea, somebody who I knew had been a good friend to Golden through those years. Thank you.
Thank you, Prosecutor Mary. Yes, I knew Golden for quite a long time, a number of years. She was one of my special friends. She was a mentor as well as a colleague. While I might have been the director, I looked to her for serious direction each and every day, and she certainly gave it to us in Juvenile. Golden came to Juvenile in 1995, and she was committed to staying there. anytime there was an opportunity to go to another unit, Golden balked. It was her preference because she wanted to serve Essex County through serving the children who had troubles, who had problems. She was very committed, she was very dedicated to those children, and while she prosecuted them diligently when they needed to, but she certainly pursued justice all the time and tried each and every day to give a kid a break, to give a kid a second chance, to look at that child as if he were her own, or she were her own, or her nephew, or her niece, or somebody that she cared about. But she also made sure that she looked at those who also were delinquent and made sure if they needed to be held accountable, Golden made sure that they were held accountable. Golden, my remembrance is that she always mentored the young attorneys. Every young attorney who came to our office was trained by Golden. My predecessor, Patrice Davis, couldn't be here tonight, but she asked if I also extend greetings to you and her love to the family for Golden. She's sick, so she couldn't come today, but she wanted you all to know that she loved her. She too looked to Golden for the training. Golden trained everybody. She knew the right way to do the files, she knew the right way to look at a case, she knew the right way to analyze a case, and she most certainly knew the best way to achieve justice for the victims, for the juveniles, as well as for the rest of the society in terms of Essex County. Also, a person who's unable to attend today was Shahida. Shahida's out of town. But when she found out, she sent her family. So I just want them to stand up so that you can see Latifah. I have the privilege of, it's certainly fitting that the Juvenile Conference Room is being named in her honor. She was committed to juvenile justice, and that was her home. So it's going to continue to be home, and it's going to bear her name. I have the privilege of providing some presentations on behalf of the New Jersey State Assembly, and I am, going to take the time to read most of it. This is a joint resolution by Senator Cody, Assemblywoman Jaycee, and Assemblyman McKeon. Whereas the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey solemnly join in remembering the Honorable Golden E. Johnson, Esquire, a highly esteemed late resident of the city of Newark, Essex County, who passed away on April 25th, 2010 at the age of 66. And whereas Golden E. Johnson was renowned as the first African American woman to serve as a municipal court judge in Newark, and she also served with distinction as a municipal court judge in Montclair and as an assistant Essex County prosecutor. A graduate of Rutgers University School of Law, Golden Johnson lent her wisdom and expertise as the director of community legal education workshop and as general counsel for the Hoffman LaRoche Pharmaceutical Company. In addition, Golden Johnson made significant contributions to the successful establishment and functioning of the Association of Black Women Lawyers of New Jersey, the New Jersey Women Lawyers Division of the National Bar Association, and the Garden State Bar Association. The strength and success of the state of New Jersey, the vitality of our communities, and the effectiveness of our American society depend in great measure upon concerned and dedicated individuals such as Golden Elizabeth Johnson. And whereas it is altogether proper and fitting for this legislature to pause in its deliberations to praise and remember Golden Elizabeth Johnson as an individual whose inspiring life earned for her the high regard of the citizens of this state, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and General Assembly of the state of New Jersey that this legislature hereby honors the memory of Golden Elizabeth Johnson and pays tribute to her outstanding legacy of selfless and tireless service that will always be valued by the citizens of the state. And be it further resolved that a duly authenticated copy of this resolution, signed by the Senate President and the Assembly Speaker, and attested by the Senate Secretary and Assembly Clerk, be transmitted to the family of the Honorable Golden Elizabeth Johnson, Esquire. Signed by the Senate President, Stephen Sweeney, and Sheila Oliver, Speaker of the General Assembly, somebody that Golden knows. There will also be